Tesla. Let's see. We got Tesla right over here. Like yesterday, I was telling everybody, Tesla is just bananas right now. We got Tesla right over here, 438.82. It's just been trending ever since Elon bought $1 billion worth of stock at 370 to 390, I believe. He bought $1 billion in between that. This thing has just been going haywire. And it was actually going a little before that, which raises some ethical questions of insider trading and people getting tips. So it ripped 20% before that. Then it was released, and then it ripped. It was a little funky stuff going on here. So I haven't touched Tesla since then. But so it's a little unpredictable. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Nothing's really adding up. Right now, it looks like it's hitting a double top. Possibly, we have resistance right around the 440 area. I think right now we could see it pull back down to 437 from 438, 436 maybe. And that's right around where VWAP is. If it goes back down there, you look for some solid support because we got both the VWAP and the R1 pivot. So that should be solid support. It did break below it earlier today, right around noon, but then it came right back. So respecting the pivot is really up for debate, but this thing's really unpredictable. That's just for the intraday. I mean, obviously, long term, this thing could go up to $1,000. Everyone's predicting it going up to a G. So I think long term, it's a great hold. SPY, got the SPY right over here. Right now, SPY looks like it just failed to break and hold above the pivot, the S1 pivot. Fell hard today, down 0.32%, 661.08 right now. It needs to get back above that S1 pivot to have any hope to continue going up. Right at the open, right around 12:30, it ripped down, found the bottom at 659.67, bounced, and it's been trending upwards since then. So it's kind of on a little slant here. Looks like we have a support line right here. Could fall down to 660 right now, and then rise back up to hit VWAP. But we're kind of close to the ascending support right now, where it is. But it continued to fall just a little bit, but it is down. So overall, the daily sentiment is negative. But we're at the pivot right now. So if it retakes pivot, look to go up to like 662.50, 662.50, 662.40 area if we retake the pivot. And we got NVIDIA. NVIDIA down 0.81%, currently trading at 167, 166.99, right below VWAP. And as you see, I mean, it's just really harsh pullback right now, especially after that positive news with ChatGPT, OpenAI. But right now, it's just having a nice pullback. I think maybe we'll come back up, retest VWAP right around 178. It's 167 right now. We hit a low of 175.40. So if we could retake VWAP back, look for that. And if we hold that VWAP at around 178, then look for a possible pullback even further back up, reducing the downside of the day, maybe even to 179, 180. But we'll have to see. It all depends on obviously many factors. Amazon, AMZN, currently 220.37, down 0.15%, pretty much flat. Was positive at the open, but obviously technology looks like it's having a little bit of a pullback. The Qs down. It looks the Qs are being rejected by the S1 pivot right now. So that's really something to look out for right now. It's down 0.46%, currently 595.37. We got the MACD starting to turn positive but negative on the 5-minute. The RSI was oversold pretty harshly right around noon time, but it's been pulling back since then. But like I said, we just hit that S1 pivot, so we're having a pullback right now. If we have to break above that to have any hope to continue to go to the upside. AMD right now, 0.24% to the upside, currently 161.26. We were at the day's pivot. We've been respecting the day's pivot. Right above where we're at right now is the VWAP, and the VWAP, AMD VWAP, man, they are just like magnetic. So we have to get above not just this pivot where we're at right now, but we have to break above the VWAP and hold it if we're going to continue to the upside and stay green for the day. Like I said, we're basically flat. MSFT, Microsoft, 507.86. 507.86, Microsoft, down 0.27%. Below VWAP, below the day's pivot. We're kind of going down toward R1 pivot. So we're going to need to see some volume come in. I mean, there's nothing really here between here and the R1 pivot. It's either going to fall or we're going to have some type of pullback. The only hope we have is at the open, we had a pullback right around 507. And we just fell down, hit 506.92 to make a new low just below the opens low. And it looks like we're having a slight pullback. But is that the new low? I don't know. So if we come back down here and retest that, we're probably going to continue to go down on MSFT. If we come back down and retest this low on 506.92, especially if we have the RSI come down and the MACD stays negative on the 5 especially, we got GLD gold being rejected right now at the S1 pivot. 343.79. It's down 0.77% on the day. It's really hovering around the negative RSI, and the MACD's turning positive, but that was just that little pullback to hit the S1 pivot, and then it was rejected. So we're going to have to watch how it handles where it's at right now. If we continue to go low and hit that low of 343.51 on GLD, then it's going to continue to go down. It's going to continue to trend down. But we have to break above that pivot. And that's a major line right there. USO is just ripping today. We had the oil inventories come out earlier today, and it looks like let's see here. It came out right around here, and it looks like it was just the bulls took it and just ran off with it. Psyched everybody down, went below VWAP. Right now, 76.67, up 2.16%. Wednesdays on oil, it's oil day. Wednesdays, it's the energy day. Oil, gas, that's RB gasoline, CL, crude oil. So those things you want to look out for, especially if you're trading future contracts. But right now, it's just ripping. I'm going to stay positive at 76.66. Probably going to, we overtook VWAP, broke above the R1 pivot, heading towards R2 pivot. I'm going up there all the way to the R2 pivot right now, which is right around $78, I think, $77. It's a good 40, 50 cent move on that one. Apple, AAPL, 251.46 right now. It's respecting that S2 pivot right now. It hit a low 251.04. And it bounced up really nicely because that was where the S1 pivot was, right at the 251.04 level, just above that. So it dipped down below it, but then it was like, nope, and it just got slapped above it. It's coming back down to retest it. If we fail this, we're going to continue to go down. It failed to come up and even touch the VWAP right around, 12:30, 1 o'clock-ish. It's 1:30 right now. So it didn't even come up and touch the VWAP. I was hoping it was going to come up, hit VWAP, and hit that S1 pivot and then get rejected, but missed that one. Didn't even come all the way up. So right now we're right around the S2 pivot, and really we're going to have to see how this reacts here. I think it might pull back up, to be honest with you. I think it's going to pull back up and retest that pivot. So right now 251.45, 251.50-ish on Apple, AAPL. Look for possible pullback up to the 250, 250. Maybe get a good dollar on that, 253. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to Meta. Meta, I love Meta. Meta is a fantastic company. I just love all their innovative technology and AI coming out. Right now, down 0.15%, pretty much flat. It was positive at the open and even in the around noontime, but then it hit that daily pivot. I don't know if you can see this right here, but if you pull up Meta, came up, and it looks like we almost got a double top. Okay, double top, bam, just like that. Came up. You see those two spikes. If you pull up the 5 or the 10, 15-minute candles, we got the two highs of the day. That's where the pivot is, the daily pivot, the main pivot point. It came up, was rejected 2 times by that. It was fighting VWAP all the way through the day. And look at this pullback right over here at around 12:30. It fell down to the to 750, 250, ripped all the way back up, hit VWAP, and it just threw it right back down. It just said, "Get the heck out of here," and threw it all the way back down, made a new low of 72.53. Right now we're coming back off of that, but I think we're going to go down, hit the uh, hit the S1 pivot possibly, but again we got to break that low at 72.53 right now, 77.54.50. We got RSI kind of just going sideways, MACD kind of just going sideways. MSTR Morningstar, anybody trade that? I love that. That's one of my favorites. That's up 0.57% today. Current price 329.69. We kind of got a little bit of an M here. Not quite a, it looks like a double top, but it's a slanted double top. Opened up, just zigzagged around, hit a high. Was up over 1.25% earlier on in the session when it hit the 326.30 area, and it just pulled back down, hit the VWAP and the day's pivot point, bounced back up to give us that valley in the double top. It came back down and just went below the daily pivot. If we don't come back up and retest that, it's definitely, I'd say, going down to the S1 pivot, much lower, at 327 area. So right now, 329, 330. We got to come back if we're going to see any positive. But technology across the board is pretty negative. Apple negative 1.16% now. The Qs retesting. Here it is. The Qs right here, retesting that S1 pivot. Got to retake that and VWAP to go up. Then you might see Morningstar, you might see Meta, you might see Apple, everything start to go back up. Google, GOOGL, right now hovering around the S2 pivot, current price 248.63, down 1.22%. Google, 248.67. It's a nice little scalp there, up to 249.25 possibly. Right around VWAP, bouncing off the S2 pivot, hit a low of 247.02, bounced back up right into the daily S2 pivot. I'm sorry, the S2 pivot, and it's been holding, and it looks like some volumes coming in right around that area. So I'd say look to go back up to the VWAP area, right around 249.25. It's a nice 50, 60 cent move. What else we got here? We got PLTR. PLTR. How you guys doing? Thank you for the follow, everybody. I appreciate you very much. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, follow. I take breaks every now and then, and I'll check the comments, take some requests. I can pull a chart up. All right, so bear with me. I just do my rounds. All right, for those who are new here, I just do the rounds. I come back, check the chat. Once in a while, I'll check the chat like now. So I appreciate you very much. Thank you. PLTR. PLTR. Oh, man, pull that up. Pull that up. Look at that. S2, S1 pivot, it just hit it and just completely reversed. That's a nice little reversal. If we continue to go up, we're going to hit that VWAP right around 180.50. Current price 179.16, down 1.86%. Again, PLTR bounced off the S1 pivot at 177.12. Current price 179.23. Nice pullback. That's a nice it's a $2 pullback right there. Could continue going up. Hit that VWAP, possible rejection there for a continuation back down. Or we're going to get trapped between the daily pivot point and the VWAP and just kind of bounce around. Those are beautiful scalp points if that is to happen. Coin, 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 up 1.35%. Current price 324.39. And here you go. Check out coin. Perfect example. What I was just saying about PLTR. If it was able to come back up and get trapped in between the VWAP and the daily pivot point, it is right now bouncing around in between those 2 points. It's a nice little scalper right there. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Just chopping all over the place in between the daily pivot point and the VWAP. 324.50. Got to wait to see what happens here. If it comes back up above the daily pivot, pulls up the VWAP, then we're going to have a nice solid support at the VWAP and the daily pivot point. When those two become sync, when the daily pivot point is right here and the VWAP becomes sync with it and price comes down or price goes up into it, that is solid. If it breaks above it and holds, that thing's going to continue on. If it breaks below it and holds, that's going to continue going down. If it comes down and bounces, that's a nice little shkabuzi right there. All right, XOM, ExxonMobil. I got that in my IRA. Love that. Nice dividend there. So is CVX. We're going to come over to that in just a minute. XOM right now came back up. Hit the. It's up 1.34%. First of all, really nice. It's trending very nicely. Came up, hit the R1 pivot, kind of, and respected the VWAP as well. Came up, hit the daily pivot, came down, hit the VWAP, bounced up, broke above the R1 pivot, and bounced up above that. Came back down, retested it, so it's respecting the R1 pivot. So right now we got the VWAP coming into the R1 pivot. So if it comes back down, that's a good retest point. It already just bounced once. So 1, 2, you might get 3 bounces on that, maybe if you're lucky, but we'll see. We'll see. It looks like it's coming back down right now. 115.43 on XOM. Might retest that. Hopefully, we get another bounce up. AVGO. Wow, these things are loving the pivots today. This is a beautiful. Look at this. Look at this. AVGO opened up this morning, came up, hit the daily pivot, dropped straight down, right into the S1 pivot. Literally at the exact point, bounced straight back up, hit the pivot again on point. Rejected, came back up, hit it again, went back down. Wow, this is beautiful. This is a beautiful day today. Everything's just coming in line today. This is a beautiful day to trade. Beautiful day to trade. So AVGO, we're going to have to wait to see what happens here because it's just kind of in between right now in no man's land. We're going to have to see if it comes back up and retest that daily pivot, breaks above it. It's down. It's pretty much flat. It's 0.08% to the downside, to negative. So we're going to have to wait and see if it comes back above that daily pivot point. That's bullish. We come back down and break below the VWAP, we're going down. All right, Kava, C-A-V-A. Scabozi. RR. Hold on a second here. Let me just see real quick. RR. Robotics. Now you talking intraday, my friend? You talking intraday? All right. Intraday. Whoa, that thing got boosted. Oh my god. Give me just a moment here. All right, so this is your stock right here. That's it. So it's down 7.2% today. It's been tumbling down. Huh. I mean, it's at if you look right here, look at this. See, I don't know what understand this right here. I keep getting restricted online here. I don't get it. All right. All right. So right here where we're at right now, we see it looks like around 4.25 up to 450. There's some solid support there. So I mean that seems like a good area uh, where I would possibly enter if I was going to enter. But this is something I'm not too sure of. overall, just because it's not something I on my list at all. But let me pull out real quick. I bet you there's a huge price drop, right? Hang on a second. Probably, yeah. See, there it is. It's always like this with some of these things here. It just whoop, and then it comes back out. So, but I'm I'd be very cautious with this thing because it tends to look, it goes up and then it goes right back down, all the way back to where it started every single time. Just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. This thing can come all the way back down to $1. So I'd be very cautious on this, my friend. All right. Be very cautious on that one. All right. Uh, McDonald's. We got McDonald's. No, Kava. We were at Kava. Kava came shot up this morning. Was positive. Okay. and and it just, I don't know what happened. Look at this. Look at this thing. It just dropped off the face of the earth here. Went from $67.60 about all the way down to $63.44. Doesn't make any sense. It's bananas. Any news come out on Kava? I don't know anything about it. I don't know. But it's down 2.63%. That's a lot for no reason. There's got to be something. I don't know the news on it, but this thing's down. It's right at the S2 pivot. We're below it though. But if we come back up, I mean, with how much it's down, where we just hit oversold on the RSI on the 5, the MACD is starting to turn positive. Might see a little bit of a pullback here, 63.42, maybe up to $64. Get a nice 50-60 cents there. But it's going to have to come back above that S2 pivot first in order for me to have some interest in it. Right now, it's just below it. It's got to probably come up to 63.60 possibly. McDonald's opposite. It just went up and just been trending. Very nice bullish trend here on the day. McDonald's MCD, current price 305.39, up 0.73%. It's trending. McDonald's above VWAP, above R1 pivot, bounced off very nicely. It is respecting the pivot, which I like, and the VWAP. Showed support right over here on the VWAP. Showed resistance here on the pivot, and then support. So it's respecting that very, very much now. And now we have the VWAP above the R1 pivot. So if this does come back down, that's a nice solid support line right over here at the 304.40 area. But I'm bullish on that. Tesla, just to revisit that for my friend over here once again. Looks like possible double top. This thing is bananas. I have not traded it in about 2.5, 3 weeks, only because of all this craziness that's going on with it. I mean, it was just at 340 the other day, just a couple weeks ago, and it's up $100. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's like trading a future contract. Got to be very careful with this right here. If you messing with this right now, this will just kill you. Absolutely kill you. Go up 8%, drop 5%. It's just absolutely bananas. Coke KO down 0.29%. I think I had a good day yesterday, I believe, if I recall correctly. I can't recall, but if I recall correctly, I think this had a nice little start of the day yesterday. So was Pepsi. 66.53 right now. 66.53. Look at this. This is what I was just talking to you about. Right. Look at this chop in between the VWAP and the day's pivot point. Chopping up and down between it. Those are great scalp areas for you scalpers. So I think it's going to bounce. It's got some support. I see volume starting to come in right on that pivot, and the VWAP probably continue to go up here, even though it's down on the day 0.25%. If we break below that pivot, it's going down, especially if we show a reversal on resistance and volume here at the VWAP. T-Mobile, TMUS, be cautious on this for long term only because of their T-Money issue that they had when they switched over from their banking system. T-Mobile, I don't know if some of you don't know this, but T-Mobile has a T-Money, and T-Money, it's like a bank account. It's banking. So they did a switch over for their customers, and hundreds of thousands of people had no access to their money for about 3-4 days. They didn't have the debit cards. They gave them a month notice. So there's probably going to be a class action lawsuit on this thing. So be very careful. It might drop seriously hard, maybe even to the 100 areas. So Team TMUS, be very, very cautious on this thing. Right now, today, we're down 0.92%. Current price 237.28. We are way below the day's pivot point. Showed some support right here and then rejected. So it's just VWAP's way above, so it's in no man's. This has to come way down here to give me some good resistance, confidence if it comes back up. But right now it's trending bearish. It's bearish. We hit oversold earlier today, right around 11:15, and it came back a little bit, but it's kind of flat. Nothing's really happening with T-Mobile. So we'll come back to that in the second round. Pepsi, whew, opposite of Coke right now. Pepsi's just kind of bouncing here, 0.24%. Look at that. Watch out though. Look, we're coming up on the double top area, so we need to break above that if we're going to have a continuation. Right now we're rising up. Look at that support. Remember I was talking to you guys? I always tell you, like, VWAP and day's pivot point. Right here. Price came down, loved it, shot up above it. Look at that volume that came in on the way down too. Shot it right up. So we're approaching this area. You got to break above that for a continuation. So let's watch Pepsi right now. And we're coming up on the overbought. But that doesn't mean anything until we're over it. So NFLX, that's a hefty one. Netflix, current price 11.9835. I got that in I got NFLW. That's the Round Hill weekly payout. I'm down. I'm getting smashed on that thing. This thing has just been getting crashed. But I get weekly payouts, so it's kind of it's offsetting. That's a weekly dividend stock and ETF NFLW. I wouldn't buy it right now. Wouldn't buy it. If you're going to get into the Round Hill weekly dividend stocks, I'd possibly consider Berkshire BRKW, Apple AAPW, Amazon AMZW. They have Nvidia NVDW. They have Meta METW possibly. They got Coin. They got a lot of stuff. PLTW. That's PLTR, but PLTW. But you get paid weekly on that. That's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. All right, so where were we? Bam, bam, bam. Pepsi, right? Boom, Pepsi. Yes. So we're having a red candle here. So let's watch this area. Could have a pullback here. Get a double top. All right. Break above this. We're going to go up. Going to break. We failed that. We're going back down. So 142.21. If we get rejected here, it's a good 30, 40, 50, 60 cent move. Back down, maybe 141.80. We might even come all the way back down here. It's unlikely though. Unlikely. But possible. Netflix, yes. So let's move on from Netflix. Netflix right now though, it is at the down 1.6%. We are at the pivot, and this is where the volume profile shows most of the day's volume coming in right here at the S2 pivot. So this might bounce right here. 11.99. 11.99 possible bounce here up to maybe 12.05 on Netflix. Anybody trade NIO? NIO? Anybody trade that? That's a small one. That's a small one. I get a lot of requests from that, so I put it up here. I personally don't trade it because it's so small. You get very small moves. You're talking 4 cents, 5 cents, and it looks very big gaps, and it's only 2 pennies. So right now I'm just gonna go over it real quickly. NIO, it's up 2.67%. I think it had another good day yesterday. Am I right? I think it had another good day yesterday. The same thing. It might be the day before. I don't know. But if I recall correctly, this also had a pretty good day, just the same as today. So this thing might be ripping here. Was up all the way to 734 today. Hit a high. Dropped all the way back down to 712. So I'd be cautious on that. This thing barely moves. So for it to go all the way up there, that must have been 5%. and it dropped almost 2.5% of its gain and failed VWAP and failed the pivot, resist the R1 pivot. So I'm not touching that. I won't recommend that to anybody right now. You gotta wait for see how this plays out. Neo, not touching it. Bitcoin looks like we're hitting some resistance here, right around the 1114 area. We hit it earlier today, right around 11 o'clock. Rejected, came back down to 113, 200. Bounced, came back up. Look, it's falling already. Got no time for that. Give me a second, guys. I gotta get a drink. Oh, okay. All right. Where we're at. JP Morgan. JP Morgan's getting smashed right now. It was all the way up. It was positive, pretty nicely positive. It was up almost 1% today. It hit 316, 317, and then it just completely reversed. And now we're at 311.77. JP Morgan down 0.31%. So that means it reversed over a percent and a half. So you think about it that way. And it's making new lows right now. It's just ripping down this second. JPM ripping down 311.67, 311.77. Poof, ripped right below the VWAP, and it was rejected at the R1 pivot. And it just completely smashed all the way back down to the daily's pivot point around 313.30. Bobbed around there for a minute, and then it just took another leg down, and it's continuing to make new lows as we speak. So JP Morgan, very bearish, taking another leg down, 0.34% negative on the day, 311.87. ADBE is bobbing around not a good day for them. Oh my gosh. I think they were down yesterday too, am I right? I might be. I don't know. But they're all the way down to they're in like the panic area. They're down 2.66%. ADBE down 2.66%. Current price 352.15. This thing is down like 50%, I think, from its high or more, right? What was this thing's high? I think it was like $600 or something like that. My good friend is very bullish on this. You got to be careful though, because they're way behind on AI. A lot of things is just kind of is interfering with this thing's territory. So ADBE very negative today, down 2.65%. It did bounce at 347.80, so it is up $5 right now from the low. It did take back VWAP and is showing support at the all the way down at the S3 pivot. So it might see some pullback here. 352.19, I'd say possible safe to go up to 354, 355, but you got to be careful because it can drop down to 350. But that's only at what, $2 to get $4. That's not bad. HD Home Depot. HD Home Depot down 0.61% today. It is at VWAP right now. It is slightly below it. If we come back up, it'd be a nice possible bounce here. Back up to about the 410 area, $1.60 to the upside. If we fail it and we start dropping, we're going to go down to that S1 pivot. And that's around 407, 406.90. So let's see here. Walmart, WMT, Walmart. Anybody trade Walmart? I do. I like Walmart. Walmart just been. Look at this. Can you guys look at this? Came up, hit the R1 pivot, fell back down, and just been bouncing off of VWAP all day. It's just chopping that VWAP, and it's positive. 0.2%. This is going to have to make a fight to stay positive today because it's basically fat and it's kind of slanting down, but it does look kind of like we're having some consolidation. So it might take a leg up here and stay positive because it's in the consolidation zone. I do see some positive volume starting to step in here. A couple, one, two, three times here. Uh, Four, five. You can't count that because that's right around the open. I do see some positive volume. I see maybe one, two, maybe three negative volume situations come in that aren't even close to the positive. So Walmart still bullish unless we take out this we take out 102 102.55. Then you got to be very cautious as we're probably going to head down. Right now it's 102.66, I think. So 102.66, 102.69. It's up. Well, it's down now, 0.16%. It was 0.2%. Be cautious on Walmart. UNH, I love UNH. My goodness, right? I got it at around 290 at UNH. My good friend put me onto that. The CEO bought, like, I don't know, millions of dollars in stock. Took a lower salary, high stock plan because he believes in the company. He believes he can turn the company around. He was a former CEO, so he knows the whole system. Since he came in, it dropped down it went up to like 320, dropped to 260, 250, and went back up to 300, bobbed around there. Now we're at 350 right now. It's up 1.59% today, 353.17. Might see a pullback right here. Looks like we have a triple top possibly. We had a top around 9:30, right around the open, just after the open, 9:40. Another one right around 10, and we're approaching. We're about at the top right now, so might see a pullback, 353.09 now. So it took a little bit of a few points down. Might pull back down to the VWAP to 351, $2.33 down. But if we take out this high, we're going to come back up, and we got the R1 pivot just above this though, 355. So it's only $1.70 above where we're at, and we're going to see some resistance over there. So be careful if you're going to go long on this. I'm more to the downside on this. Not downside, but just for a pullback on a day trade. All right. Nike, NKE, right at VWAP right now. Look for a small bounce, 70.92 right now. 70.92, maybe up to 71.15, 71.20. Now, 71.20 is too high. It is down 0.01%, so it's basically flat, but it was positive until we hit the day's pivot right around 71.53. So we hit 71.53, was above the day's pivot point, dropped below it, was rejected. Now we're hitting VWAP, and we're going to have to see how it acts right now. Looks like it's respected it throughout the day, minus a little bit of correlation. So maybe 70, 75, 70, 75 for a rebound. But if it fails that, it's gonna turn negative on the day. So you gotta be careful on that. But it's a slight. Yeah. It's got to turn around right now if it's gonna bounce at VWAP. Nike, NKE. PG. I like PG. PG is fairly consistent. It's 153.03 right now, down up 0.31%. Bobbing around VWAP. I'm bullish on this. 153.03. 153.03. PG. I'm bullish on. I think it's going to go up a little higher. CRM. I got a friend heavy in CRM long term. CRM 244.59, 244.61, up 0.05%. Pretty flat. The next couple are pretty flat today. HON, PFE, I mean, they're down 0.31%, but J&J, Johnson & Johnson, down 0.6%. These things are pretty flat. But as soon as we get down here, it starts to shake up a little bit. But CRM, it's not it's positive, but this thing hit the 249 and now it's at 244.69 after hitting the low of 243.01. But I don't like that. It's positive. It was really positive. It was up over 1%, and then it just completely reversed. So that is not very convincing to be positive on the day. It's going to have to do something really drastic. CAT, CAT, 469.39 right now, down 0.4%. Yes, down 0.4%. Hey guys, hit some likes there. Let's get some likes here. I don't think I got any. Nobody liked my stuff. Come on, give me some likes. What are you doing? Hit the like a couple times. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. CAT 469.21 right now. CAT 461 469.21, 469.19, down 0.44%. We are trending down. There's really nothing here right now. It's trending downwards. There's nothing bullish. There's no support. There's nothing. So this cat is pretty negative. It's gonna have to do something out of left field to turn the day around, but it's trending downwards. CVX. I was talking about this earlier when we were over here talking about XOM. I love CVX, big fan of it. Nice dividend stock. CVX came up today's 1.61% positive. Current price 159.96. Had a high of about 160.69. Is that what that 160.69? So we're right around there. We're right around the high of the day. We are above two things. So we got support on our side here. We got the R1 pivot. We are above that. The VWAP is above the R1 pivot just slightly, and we bounced off VWAP already on a retest. Right now, we're coming back down slightly, and I think that's a good retest area to catch a little long and go for a little bit of a scalp, a little day trade there to the upside. If we break below that, then just that's no good, no good, no good. Be very cautious. Might give some gains back to the market if we break below both of those. Ford. Now this is another one, kind of like NIO. Very small moves here. It's down 1.11%. Current price 1160. 1160 right here. We are at the S1 pivot. The MACD is positive now. The RSI is turning slightly positive and it's coming out from the oversold. It's trending upwards. It's kind of going up. We got some volume coming in right at that pivot. So this might be a turnaround, but we're still around the lows, so it's too early to call. I mean, the low is 1159 and we're at 1160. So we just made a new low. Too early to call if we're going to bounce here. We got to see something come right here, right now. Right here, right now. Otherwise, it's going to continue trending down. But it's already down 1.11% on this small little stock here. So that's something to watch. TSM rejected 1, 2, 3 times off the day's pivot. It is down 1.1% today. Was down a lot more, almost 2%, a little over that. And then we've come back though, and we've kind of been bouncing around VWAP. So right now 279.60. TSM down 1.1%. VWAP is right around 279.20, 279.15. If we come back down there, I would consider that a nice little bounce area back up to 279.50, 279.60. Nice little scalp there. Man, look at Citigroup. Citigroup. That's a reasonable priced stock. I like this one. We got the lowercase h though, so that's a little dangerous. That's a bearish sign. Especially because the end of the H is going down and we're below the initial point. So the left side of the H. So we're going lower here. We're at the pivot though. We're at the S1 pivot. So we got to watch this area. It needs to bounce right now. If we go below that, it's going to continue on. It could have a whole nother leg down, go drop another percentage point. So I would be very cautious on taking a long here on C. Even though we're at a bounce area at the pivot, there's really nothing else giving it any boost, any confidence to go long here. So be very cautious if you're thinking about that. PFE, we almost had a double bottom here. We're dropping right now 2405. 2405 down 0.35%. We're approaching the S1 pivot. We got a low on the day at 2403, so we are approaching the low of the day. We're going to have to see a bounce with some volume right around $24. But we don't want to continue making new lows. Otherwise, it's going to continue trending down. But if we see a bounce here, look to retest the VWAP around 2412, 2413. Otherwise, we're going to continue trending down if we break that S1 pivot. RSI is dropping. We're still above oversold, but if we continue to drop and we're going to hit that pivot, we're going to go oversold. MACD still negative on the 5. IBM down 1.25%. It was like 1.7%, 1.65% earlier today when it hit 267.50. Current price is 268.85. It was at 270 almost, so it did make a nice $2.50 return up, but that rejection point was at the S1 pivot right around the 270 on the dot. So it came up and it was rejected. But it has something against it right now, and that's IBM has the VWAP coming down pretty aggressively, and it's almost flush. It's just above, but it's almost flush with that S1 pivot. So VWAP coming into the S1 pivot. If this price comes back up and hits it, that's a strong rejection point. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. That's great. You guys are great. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. All right, we got PSQ. PSQ. This is a nice price stock. It's cheap. It's $31.28. This is a good little thing to, add to any portfolio. It's cheap. I remember when I started trading over a decade ago, stocks were right around this. It was beautiful. You can buy Apple for $50, $60. It was great. And then it went up to 100, and then it was just, but $30 is a nicely priced stock. And it's up 0.48% today. It was up about, I think it was 0.65, 0.7, but then it dropped. We hit 31.37, I think, 31.38 on PSQ. Dropped, fell below the S1, the S1 pivot, and hit VWAP, bounced right on VWAP. I'm a strong VWAP guy, strong pivot point guy, because they're valid. It's how I survived for 10 years, over a decade. So we bounced right at the VWAP, sharp, came back up. We're retesting the S1 pivot as rejection. So it's positive, but we're below it now. The bears pushed it down, took away half its gain on the day, and it looks like it's being rejected at the S1 pivot. So if this gets rejected here, look to go back down to the 331.20. It's only 10 cents. It's a cheap stock, though. Okay, so there's small moves, just like NEO, just like Ford. Let's cycle back over here. Q's, look at that. It was rejected. It hit VWAP and was rejected at the S1 pivot. So that's for you. Well, we were talking about that earlier. It came up, and the bears just overpowered the bulls and pushed it back down. But we have a very strong, look at this current candle. Look at this current 5-minute candle right here. We fell down to 594, and now we're back up to 595.50, just about. It is down, again, 0.46%, 595.45 now, but we have a huge wick candle here. And when you see something like that, you got to be cautious if you're going short, because that's a clear-cut sign that something else is happening. So we have to come back to this. This might turn here on the Qs. I don't see a lot of volume though. There's not a lot of volume on that, so that's suspicious. There was a lot of volume here on when we were last talking about it, when it came up and hit the pivot, but it was rejected. So, and then it came up, hit VWAP, and it was rejected. Came down, and now we got this huge wick candle on the QQQ to the upside, but there's no volume in it. Got to be cautious on those things. SPY down 0.42%. Price 660.46. Man, that is this up. Look at that M. I mean, you can't be more of a double top than that. Look at that M. Look at that's a perfect M. And remember, it's not a double top until you got two tops and the valley, and the top was rejected all the way down to the valley here. So it has to come all the way down. It's not a double top when it's up here. It's not a double top when it's up here. I hear so many people in the chat rooms when we're talking or doing one-on-ones or in the private room and they're talking, oh, it's a double top and it's just up here. I'm like, it's not. What are you talking about? It's not a double top. It's not a double top until it comes down here. And then once it breaks that, it's a double top. Got to break that neckline on the double top right at the valley. Break that, then it becomes a double top. Look at that. That's perfect. That's a textbook double top. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful double top. That's picture perfect. That's something you take a picture of and put it up as an example. And it's continuing down, making new lows right now as we speak. SPY making new lows. Continuing down. Looks like it might be taking another leg down here. But the Qs is not quite as correlated right now. NVDA still around the same area on our last round. It's still sitting there. It looks like a cup and handle almost, a sloppy one. But we got the cup right here. We got a sloppy handle. So we got to come up over VWAP and right above that, and then we got to see a continuation if that's going to be a valid one. But it's a sloppy cup and handle. And Amazon right now 220.52. Looks like a nice little bounce area here, possibly. It's down 0.09%, pretty flat. Was up positive today around 0.3%, I think, when it was around 224.50, I think. So hit that high and just rejected by pivot. Day's pivot point might be rising here up to VWAP 220.56 up to 221.50. Nice little dollar zip back up. Unless we take out that previous swing low right over here. If we take out that low, it's going to go back down and make a new low. AMD right now, look at that chop. I was telling you, look at that. Look at that chop. That's a beautiful scalp area. This is where scalpers make their money. In between VWAP and the pivot. Look at that. Chopping. Chop, 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 chop. For the last hour. Just chopping around. And people made so much money right there. That's beautiful. AMD's up 0.24%. Gave back half of its gain today. It was negative, I think, or just about right around 12 o'clock. Bounced hard at the S1 pivot at 158.43. Current price on AMD is 161.29. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. And let's see. So yeah, what's that? Microsoft, 0.26%, 507.87, down 0.26%. It's just trending downwards. Way below VWAP, way below the day's pivot point. RSI is pretty flat across. So is MACD. It's kind of in no man's land. As I was talking about in the last round, there was some point right over here. We were looking for support. It does look like it found it temporarily and bounced slightly. Came back down again, bounced slightly. If we break this right here, it's going down. It's going down. It's going down. If it breaks that most recent swing low. Otherwise, we're going to have hitting 509 from 507.85. Nice little $1.15 move back up to VWAP. Possible new rejection point there, or to retake VWAP and move back up into positive territory. We're open today. GLD, that's gold. GLD, still trending down. Look at that rejection. We came up, hit that rejection, going down. Making new lows right now. 343.12 low. We just took a 10-cent bounce here. I mean, it's nothing, but it's negative 0.93%. Current price, 343.25, 13 cents above the low. Just made the low. Rejected off of the S1 pivot very nicely. And the pivot is very valid right now. We came down, showed support over here right around 11:30, 12 o'clock. I'd say 12 o'clock. And then broke it. After it bounced over there, back and forth, broke below it, came back up, retested it, and was rejected. And that's where we're at now. We're coming down. Nice. USO, again, today's the energy day. US oil counts came out. Everything came out. Looks like it was bullish info here. Must have been. Because as soon as it came out, look at all that volume came in and it just ripped up. 1.92% on USO, 76.49 right now, still trending upwards, way above VWAP. Not way above, but it's got a nice 30-cent move above VWAP. Nice 50-cent move above the R1 pivot. So that might continue on. Apple AAPL. Apple down 1.17% here. Here we are. We're retesting that for the third time. This S2 pivot. Retesting it for the third time. 251.47 down 1.16% on Apple AAPL. Got a low of 251.04. That was made right around 12 o'clock. Just there before around 11:45. So it's been bouncing around here. Not much here. I don't see a lot of volume coming in. There's not a lot of conviction. Not a lot of conviction. Meta, META, Meta down 0.10%, 0.1%. Was down a lot more, about 0.4%, I think, and then it was at that when it hit the low at 752.53. It was right around 12:30. Bounced very nicely there 2 times, right around 11 and then 12:30. And looks like it's heading up a little bit here, back up to VWAP. It is trending upwards right now. Volume is coming in on Meta. 755 now. Again, it's down 0.04%. Again, somewhat flat, basically. Could run back up to 756.50. $1.50 back up, retake VWAP, or at least get some type of rejection point. If we do that, then we might have a nice head and shoulder point, but I don't like that shoulder. The shoulder would be that long wick down, and that's almost flush with the head, and nah, it's not too good. But if we would take VWAP, we could go back up to 758. Turn the day positive here on Meta. Gonna have to really see how the Qs react to that. The Qs are still in the same spot, fighting that S1 pivot. MSTR trending down still in no man's land. MSTR 328.07. It is up 0.09%, flat. Google down 1.67%, 247.44. We bounced really nicely just a couple moments ago. 246.44. We hit that pivot, that S3 pivot. Bounced sharp right on it. Very, very sharp. Was rejected on there. Said, nope, get the heck out of here. Slapped it back up very sharply. We retraced about 30% back of it. Fibonacci would say it should bounce right around here, 247.30. But if we completely retrace it to retest it, might break it, continue down, increase that loss on the day for Meta. For Google. For Google, Googl. PLTR now 2.13% down. Current price 178.66. It is slightly curling. I mean, it is very correlated with the Qs. Very, very extremely correlated with the QQQ. So same thing going on with that. Almost pivots in similar spots here. VWAP similar. PLTR 178.68, 178.66, low 177.12. Came back $1.50 off the low, bounced right at the S1 pivot. It's been trending upwards since then. Coin up 0.85%, rejected very harshly at the day's pivot with VWAP there. This might continue to trend down. So even though it's positive, have some caution here on taking any longs on coin. COIN. Current price 322.79. Right now it's up again 0.85%, but it's just continuously getting rejected here, right around the 325 area. VWAP right now is around 324, so it's about $1.20 above current price, but it's dropping. It's dropping. It was at 325 a moment ago and just fell all the way back down. XOM. Oh, it did it. It broke below that R1 pivot and the VWAP. So this could be negative here. This could be bearish. It was positive 1.14%. I think it was 1.35% when we first took the first round. Now 115.24. It is officially below VWAP and below the R1 pivot. So it might give some gains back here. Might give some gains back, possibly back down to the 114.90 area. But I love trades like this. I would have took a long there initially, but as long as there was a green candle here with some volume, and it didn't have any of that. But normally, something I love to look for is when it wedges. Pull XOM up on the 5-minute, put the pivot points on, and you'll see we had a nice one bounce, came back up a smaller bounce, and when you come back down and you got the day's pivot with VWAP there, when you see a little bounce here, it already did it once there. It already did it at like 12:30. It bounced up. That's a long I would have took. That's a beautiful long. But when you see that, that's a beautiful long, especially when it's wedging into it. It's just gorgeous. It's a beautiful setup for longs. But this last one here where we broke below it, there was nothing there. There's no green candle, no volume. It just dropped below it. And that tells me it's a good rejection point. So, and it's dropping. It's 115.25 now. 115.23 now. Giving back some of the gains. That's the XOM. Now AVGO pretty flat still. We are a little higher from the last round, 0.17%. We are hitting and being rejected at the pivot point at the 340 area. Current price 339.50. Again, AVGO up 0.17%, up 0.15%. Now 339.45. So if we get rejected here, we could see it turn red. Come back down and retest that pivot. We already did it twice. We retested that. I'm sorry, not the pivot, the VWAP. We already retested that VWAP twice. I don't know if we're going to come back down and retest it. If we do, it'd probably be around 337.50. So maybe $2 here, possibly. But we've been rejected 1, 2, 3 different times. Look at this. 3 times. 1, 2, 3 at the pivot, exactly at the pivot. All highs simultaneously consistent, rejected. They don't want to go higher than that. Now, if we break that high, see that high right above the pivot around 340 area, we break that, we're going up. But it looks like we're going down right here because we're based on two previous rejections today alone. And we're at the pivot right now being rejected. That's AVGO being rejected right now. Look at that, 339.28 already. There's a 20 points already right there. Kava, CAVA. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Kava, CAVA. Guys, we got 40 minutes left. 40 minutes left until we close up and go into the private room. So 40 minutes left, guys. 3 o'clock. I got CAVA, Kava, 63.11 low today. That is right over here. This is Kava, guys. Kava hit oversold right over here. That was just around 130. Hit a low of 63.11 off the pivot, bounced very nicely. Looks like we're coming back down real slowly. Possibly going to retest that or make another leg down. So we got to watch out for that. I don't see any volume. I did see volume right here at the first one. I saw negative volume coming in pretty aggressively right over here at the S1 pivot, which explains this, and continued negative volume on the way down. Negative volume hard right over here, and then a little bit of positive volume, but not much. Nothing. This doesn't make much sense based on the volume. That might be dark pool activity. Keep in mind, over 50% of all volume that you see is not on the volume chart that you see right here. All of our charts only show about 50% of the day's volume on all stocks and ETFs. Remember that and don't ever forget it. 50% of the volume. So sometimes you see a big candle and it's small volume, and you're like, it doesn't even make sense. How does it move like that? That's because that's on the dark pool. Go buy a dark pool subscription, and you'll see that bar has huge volume on it on the back end. Should be illegal if you ask me. It's not right because we don't see it. So AVG Kava might be pushing up higher here actually. 63.88. We're 77 cents off the low. Bounced nicely off the daily's pivot. We are down 1.94%. Maybe we're gonna give take some of that loss back right here. But there's not a lot of volume. It's actually decreasing. So really nothing going on with Kava. There's nothing really to call on that. McDonald's MCD been trending upwards. We're right around where we last took a round. Looks like it's starting to curl over. 305.18. I think it's safe to say 304.80 on a nice short down. MCD to hit VWAP. If we drop below VWAP, then we're going to get caught in between the beautiful chop zone of 304.50 and 304.80. And that's just buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell scalping right there. It is up 0.65%. Tesla took a bounce here. TSLA took a bounce off VWAP, pushing higher, 439.57. Very unpredictable Tesla, as I've been saying all day, all week, last 2 weeks. Coke, KO. Coke is 0.33% down. Caught in between. Look at this. Nice little chop zone, guys. Like over here. Boom, 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 boom. We're between VWAP and the daily pivot point. 66.48 on KO. That's Coke KO. 66.48 right now. Looks like it's heading down 66.47. Retest that pivot point at about 66.40. Possible bounce there back up to 66.55. Nice little 15-cent move there. We've been holding that pretty aggressively. So it's a nice solid area. A lot of volume coming in at that area. It is negative on the day though, so keep that in mind. T-Mobile still making swing lows here. We just came off of a low on our last round, 237.01 low. New low made there. Current 237.59. So we're 58 cents above the low. Small little bounce here on nothing, though. There's nothing there. That's actually yesterday's pivot area, so forgive me. That was yesterday's pivot point. So it's still respecting that somewhat right here, right now. So it looks like we took 1, 2, broke below it, and kind of bounced back up above it. Yesterday's pivot point. So it is respecting that, and it's respecting today's pivot point because it was rejected twice off of that. So T-Mobile and stuck in between yesterday's pivot and today's pivot. Nothing really to call on that. There's no volume at all. There's just nothing at all. It's just dead space. Pepsi PEP 0.15%. It's positive back now, guys. I think it was negative, right? Positive now, 0.16%. Hitting this double top though. It doesn't seem to be able to break above that top, that 142.30 area. 142.30. Current price 142.09. Still above VWAP, still above the day's pivot. Day's pivot is 141.60. The VWAP is 141.79. And we are at 142.09 on a red bar on the 5. The volume is pretty consistent. It is picking up here. Look at this volume coming in here over the last hour, increasing with the move up. Doesn't look like it's sustaining. It looks like it's dropping, however, once we hit this double top here from early around 11:30 today. So it's gonna have to make a move here. It's gonna have to make a decision. NFLX 1198.01 right now. Still under VWAP. I'm sorry, you were still under VWAP. VWAP is at 1204. We are now underneath the R. I'm sorry, the S2 pivot. We're rising back into it. That could be a rejection point. A lot of volume here coming in. Most volume of the day. Look at this. It overtook the volume. That came in fast. The most volume of the day was coming in around 1199, and now it's 1197 area, 1197.50. Low of the day came in around 12 o'clock, 1194.20. Bounced up, retook the S2 pivot point, bounced around there, but now we're back below it, and it doesn't look too good. Doesn't look too good. There's not a lot going on here. It's really going to have to come back with authority to have any conviction here. So keep an eye out for Netflix. Going to have to take that S2 pivot with high volume. NIO still dropping here. Really giving back a lot of its gain. It was like 5%, 4.5%. Now it's all the way down to 2% on the day. Current price 707 and falling on this very bar here. We just took out the most previous swing low, 706, now 708. 2.09% up on the day. It was up at 735, hit 735, and then just fell off the earth. I mean, that's a big move for a small stock. 30-40 cents on a $7 stock, that's huge. And we're continuing to go lower here on NIO. Now 2%. We just dropped 0.1% in the last couple minutes. Bitcoin taking a nice little bounce here. Look at this slight bounce. It seems like we're on an ascending support area here. Not a lot of volume though to give it conviction. We are above the pivot. There's no VWAP on crypto, unfortunately. XRP 2.954. Hood. Sure, let me check out Hood. Let's check out some Hood here. Pulling it up here. All right, Hood, HOOD, up 0.58%. Current price 126.89. We were up pretty good today, 130.07. Rejected by the R2 pivot, came down, found support at the R1 pivot with the VWAP, but there it is. Look right over here. See this? It broke below it and the pivot, and then rejection. So this doesn't look too good. Even though it's positive on the day, there's rejection there. However, the only positive thing we have right now is look at this low right over here. That's where we're at right now. And then over here, we see some consolidation all throughout here and in pre-market at this current price. So this doesn't surprise me, this little bounce right here, this green candle that's occurring right now. So when you look at all that, this looks like a nice solid support area. It got to hold up. There's not a lot of volume. Look at the volume, not a lot of volume here. There was good volume right here. Take out the open, forget that. This was a trend. And there was a lot of volume here, even in the pre-market. So this is an area to watch. If it bounces here and comes back up, you got to be careful because it might see rejection again. The only way this comes back is if it takes out 127.88. It got to go above 127.88 in order to be back in bullish territory, even though it's up 0.66% right now. And you got to watch this area right here too, 126.83. If it drops below that and starts and pushes off of that as a rejection, because that's clearly a support area, even though there's no pivot. If it breaks below that, it's dropping, and expect it to fall down to 125.80. But look at this. Look at this volume coming. Look at this. It's starting to push up here. That even further validates this area of support. So keep an eye out on those levels, okay? Where were we? Walmart, WMT up 0.38%, up 0.3837% now. Looks like we're approaching VWAP. We're in a consolidation area. It's like a sideways wedge here. If you see this, it's consolidating. Trying to break out, but VWAP is pushing it down. It is still above. We have a large wick here on this current 5-minute candle. A very large wick. Rejecting it underneath VWAP. Look for a rejection here. If this closes above it and we see some more volume coming in, it could be a continuation, but it looks like a rejection right now. So we're going to have to keep our eye out on that. WMT is at a strong area right now. And if you look back to the left, there's also some action. It makes sense too, because even taking VWAP out, I mean that's a strong area. Even taking VWAP out, if you look right here, just rejection, rejection. Some support here when it broke above it, rejection, 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 rejection. It's trying to come above it right now, and it's getting rejected. It's no surprise. It's got to take that back, close above it, if it wants to trend and stay positive on the day. Otherwise, it's going to fall down to 102, 102.60. Probably come back down here, retest this area. Yeah, 102.60, that's good. But it's got to break above that VWAP and hold so it can head back up to the 103.40 area. HD, Home Depot, taking a bounce off of VWAP right here. There it is. That's what we were looking for. On the last round here, came up and was falling down. This is what we wanted to see here. Support, bouncing up off of that, and that's what it's doing here. So it's nice and bullish right now. We want to see this continue back up to this area to 410, 50, maybe another dollar from where it is. It's currently 409.15. It's down on the day 0.43%. So even though it's negative, it looks like it's turning positive, especially with a low of 405.01, and it's all the way back to 409.15. Oh, look at that. Look at that. 409.40. It just jumped up 25 cents. 409.38 now. 409.39. That's nice right here. It's a nice spot. That might come all the way back up here at 410 for sure. It looks really, really convincing though. It's HD, by the way. HD. HD. So keep that on your watch list. JP Morgan up 0.09%. It's pretty flat. Only 28 cents on the positive on the day. It did hit 311.67 for a low. Current price 313.01. 313 even now. So it made a nice little pop comeback, but it's not, look at this, it's not being able to break above and hold the day's pivot. VWAP is dropping, which makes it even harder because if this continues this direction, it's not going to have enough time in the day, though. It's not going to have enough time in the day to bring this all the way down here. But if this was lower, it'd take a tremendous amount of volume and price action to break above that. If the VWAP was lower, but it still has a chance now. But it's being rejected there like it has been all day today. So that's JP Morgan. I'm sorry, JP Morgan, 312.88 now. It's Continue dropping at the rejection point of 313 area. ADBE showing some support on VWAP. Seems to be caught in between VWAP and the S3 pivot. Current price 351.27. Forgive me for my throat's a little irritated. Hopefully I'm not coming down with something. Looks like it's being rejected here. It's fighting. That's ADBE. It's down 2.88%. It came back up a little bit. We were right over here when we came back above. That's a nice little pop there. Right above the pivot point, and then it fell back down, obviously. It found support on VWAP, and now it's fighting the S3 pivot. It might make a little comeback here. Continue the comeback. So I like this. If we're able to close a candle or two above this price right here, maybe 351.50, that would be nice. That's a nice little long there, a little long scalp, maybe to 351.50 up to 352.50. Get a nice little dollar there, $2, maybe even go up to 353. HD. Yeah, it's turning positive here on ADBE. It's just battling it. All right, HD down 0.35%. Current price 409.46, bouncing very nicely off of VWAP. VWAP's at 408.10. Around that, it looks like it came down, took a bounce on VWAP, and it is rising back up right now. It's a nice little long possibility. Back up to the day's pivot around 410.10 to get a nice 60, 70 cent move back up. But you got to be careful holding anything above that because that's the pivot point and possible rejection area. And it is down 0.35%. It's trying to come back, make that loss a little bit smaller. If you see this, it's just consolidating in between. It's chopping in between the pivot and VWAP. See that? Bang, bang, bang. Just playing ping pong off of each one. And a nice zone, too. A nice zone. I like it when it's smaller because it becomes more predictable. When it's really tight on it, maybe 15, 20 cents. Just bing, 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 bing. And we got let's see, let's go over here. UNH. Let's go to UNH. UNH is up 1.53%. Current price 352.83. It's doing pretty good today. It's doing pretty good. It hit a low of 347.20 and really pushed back up pretty aggressively. Found some solid support around the 349 area. Just continuously bottomed right there very nicely. Very clear bottom here at the 349 area. Pushed above, retook VWAP very aggressively. It's just been trending upwards since then. I'm pretty bullish on that. I like it. $352.88 right now on UNH. NIO 710. It is making a little curl here. NIO was what, 707 a few moments ago. Only a couple penny moves here. We'll come back to that. Not much going on NIO. NKE rejected harshly at the day's pivot. Up 0.12%. It was negative just a few moments ago. And now it's positive. It's just fighting that line, teeter-tottering. That's NKE. Current price $71 now. It is negative. It is turning down. Looks like we're going to continue to fall a few more cents, about 15, 20 more cents to retest that VWAP possibly. We are bouncing off of it right now. So it's possible it won't actually go back down because we are just pushing off of it. 71.03 now on NKE, up 0.13%. If we're able to take out this swing high here at 71.15, We're most likely going to head all the way up, back up to almost close to the day's high. Not quite. I don't think we're going to take out the high, but we might head up to the 7140 area. If we fail right here, we're going to come back down and retake VWAP and retest VWAP at the $71 area, or I'm sorry, 70.90 area, or 70.85 possibly. So we have a two game plan. PG, PG's underneath VWAP. It was doing good today too. It really was. The 152.86 on PG is Procter and Gamble. 152.92, up 0.28%. It was up about 0.5, 0.6% today, and it gave half of its gains back. And now it's fighting VWAP. It was using it as support and broke below it now, and looks like it's being rejected at VWAP 152.96. Possibly return back down to the pivot point at 152.50. Possible 50-cent short, unless we're able to take back VWAP, and it's right here right now, so it's going to make a choice now. So it's not going to be much longer for it to choose a direction on PG. Johnson & Johnson, loving this VWAP today. Pull up that J&J. Just let's count the bounces here. 1, 2, 3 bounces off of VWAP today. Looks like it's curling back over. So we're going to have to see if this is going to come back and make 4. If it comes back down to that, I don't have confidence it's going to hold above it. It's flat pretty much today, 0.05% to the upside, 176.67 price. That's J&J. 176.67. It's up 0.05%. If we come back down to that VWAP area, that 176.50 area, I don't have a lot of confidence that it's going to bounce again. Bounce way too many times on that. Volume is shrinking each time it hits it, so I think it'll fail if we come back down there. That's my plan on that. I wouldn't go long, wouldn't go short. I just wait for that. If it breaks below it, if we come back down to that, that's a short for me. PFE. Okay. PFE. Where's that? There it is. Okay. PFE. Wow, look at that. Wow. Just came right down. Made a new low. 23.98. Hit that S1 pivot. Was oversold on the 5 RSI. Really pushed that MACD negative, but then came right back very sharply. Looks like it's making a little bit of a bounce here. That's PFE. Current price 24.04. It is down 0.34% today on PFE. This could rise back up to, I mean, it's small moves here on this little tiny stock here. 24.04, maybe up to 24.11. Where VWAP is. Look for a rejection here. If we overtake it, could go all the way up to 24.20. I don't know if it's going to continue going down, especially with that strong bounce on high volume, especially at the pivot here. We already took one strong bounce already earlier today, right after the open. At that pivot, at this price, right around here, bounced all the way up to 24.17, 24.18, bobbed around and fell down to 23.98. Making another run at it here. Got to show some support as it retests. We're not quite there. It's at about $24 even, the S1 pivot. So keep that in mind. Mark that on your charts. $24 on PFE. That's a nice pivotal area. And then 24.09, 24.10. That's the VWAP. So that's the trend between the two. I think it might go back up here. I think it might go back up. HON 208.93 right now. It's been holding below VWAP. It is down 0.18%. That's HON. Down below VWAP. And if you pull this up on your chart, you're going to see that ever since like 1 o'clock, it's been holding under VWAP, just perfectly flat across. Perfectly flat. This is VWAP. It's going like this all day since 1 o'clock, the last 2.5 hours. So if this breaks above it, which I think it has a chance, if it breaks above that VWAP, that 209 area, 209.10, if it breaks above 209.10 and holds, I think we're going to go back up to 209.50. So you're talking 40-cent move, but it's got to get above that. Otherwise, I'm just not touching that, just because it's just not in a good area of conviction. Especially with all these rejections here, I'm not going short on that. That doesn't give me rejection. There's got to be some give to it. It's like, imagine a big cement block and you're just hitting it with a sledgehammer. After so many hits, it's going to crack and break. That's the same thing with this stuff. When you see rejection points, when you see support points, every hit it does, it makes it a little bit weaker. Doesn't make it stronger, it makes it weaker, but it makes it more predictable area. If it goes above it, you know that when it comes back down, where that old resistance is, you could count on it being support. CRM 245.01, up 0.818%. Sorry, 0.18% up, positive on the day. It was negative. It was negative when it fell down to 243.01. It came back $2. Finally turned green. And it is still below VWAP, but this could continue to go up here, 245, back up to 246 on CRM. That's a nice little one right there. Little volume coming in. I like that. I like that. CAT, that's CAT, 0.18% on the downside today. 470.41 current price, 470.43. $470.22 right now on CAT. Has a low of 468.85, 468.85 as a low. So it's down. It was much down. It was down 0.45%. Came back, cut the loss in half. It looks like it's curling over a little bit. Might come back up to hit that VWAP at 472. Maybe 471.50. Get $1 on this. I do see some volume there. Does bring in a little hopeful. It might turn green, or it might cut this 0.18% down to half, 0.1% loss on the day. Does look pretty nice. Looks promising right here, especially with the pre-market movement. This area was showing support, and that's where we're at right now. So CAT 470.35, the 470, 471.50, 472. And it looks like even down over here, yeah, I don't know. I don't like that, this area right here. I mean, right where we're at right now, 469.95. If you look in the pre-market, we got several bounces over here in the pre-market. And then even during the market a little while ago, bounce, 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 bounce. It's a good area of support. CVX. Oh, man, look at that. I said, hey, CVX. We broke below both VWAP and the R1 pivot. And what did I say? What did I say when we broke below that? I said, uh-oh, doesn't look good. That's a good short. Now look at this. 159.24. We're talking, that was 160 about. 160. It's 80-cent down. 80-cent move down. It was above that CVX. It's up 1.16%. But even though it was up, it doesn't matter. We're talking if it breaks that area of VWAP and the R1 pivot, that's negative. That's bearish. Take out that positive day, throw it away. It doesn't matter. We're talking for day trade. We want little moves here, and that gives conviction. Okay. So CVX continue to move lower, 159.23 now. Be careful right here. This looks like a little area of support. Might see a bounce right here, a small bounce, maybe back up to the 50 area, 159.50. So be careful right here, only because I see in the beginning of the day there was some large volume came in at this area, and we did show support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. There's obviously just 5 candles, but it bounced really nicely with some very good volume. And there it goes, 525, 530. I'm sorry, 159.20, back up to 159.30. Could see it go back up to 159.50 or more. But if we break below this area, literally, if we break below 159.20, it might continue just go down. So we're very close. Ford holding that nicely, holding that S1 pivot, hit 1159, bounced off of that pivot very nicely. It's at 1165 now. Ford, the symbol F, it's down 0.9%. Hit that nice little area, showed support. TSM, current price 280.21, down 0.88%. That's symbol TSM. Current price 280.16. Been rising up, hit that VWAP, bounced off it, and where was our target? Back at the pivot point, and we are just shy of it now. So it's getting very close to that pivot point now. So we are about 80% there, 90% there to that target area. So I'd be scaling out of any longs here up to that pivot at 280.50. 280.50 is very strong rejection area. So right now 280.24, 280.25. It is negative 0.89% today, but again, that was a nice little long from the 279 all the way back up to 280.50. We're not quite there all the way at the 280.50 area, but which is the day's pivot. But this is a nice area to exit if you're in a long. All right, Citigroup. Citigroup. This was that lowercase h I was talking about earlier. I said it was a lowercase h. The end point of the lowercase h was much lower. We showed a little tiny bounce, and now we're back at the starting point. That's very bearish. I wouldn't be buying anything right here. Even though we're at the pivot point, we're at the S1 pivot, 101.89. We just made a new low of 101.82. I think we have a good chance of breaking below this and continuing down. That was the bounce opportunity right there, and it failed. It didn't even make it high. It was a little bounce, whoop, and it just came right back down, and we're right at the same point, made a new low, and this might break below it here. It is wedging. It is wedging down into it now that I'm seeing it. It's wedging pretty firmly. Something's going to happen right here any moment now. Any moment now. Remember that. Any moment now. Look for C. Put that up on one of your charts. Look for C. It's going to make a move any moment. One way or the other, it's either going to break below this pivot, or it's going to break back up above this little wedge point, head back up to the VWAP, which is 102.80, 102.90. Current price is 101.88, down 1.09%. PFE, hugging that S1 pivot. Same situation where it was before. It's actually underneath the pivot now, technically. This is looking bearish, PFE, looking bearish. 2403, 2404, 2402 now, 2401. Yes, this is looking bearish. PFE, be careful of PFE. We're below pivot. We're starting to get that lowercase h, and it hasn't come down all the way. We're underneath the VWAP where we were having nice solid support. A lot of volume came in over there, rejected really hard all the way down to 23.98 on PFE. Came back up to 24.07, and now we're back down to 24.01. And it's dropping. It's dropping now. Still dropping. Volume is coming in. Yeah, I'm bearish on PFE. IBM, IBM, it is down 1.44%, but it looks like we're bottoming out right here. We're at the S2 pivot, and it looks like we found support 1, 2, 3 times. I think we might see a little bounce here. We had a low of 267.50, current price 268.31. That's IBM, down 1.44%, current price 268.33 now. I think we're going to see a little bounce here, maybe up to 269.50. So it's current price again, 268.29. Might go up to 269.50. Look for that. PSQ. PSQ. Came back down. We hit the VWAP. We bounced up as we were anticipating. Okay. Right over here. Right at the opening of the first round. Hit that VWAP. Bounced up. Was rejected at the S. What's that? The S1 pivot. Yep. S1 pivot. Rejected. We're coming back down to VWAP. It is up 0.35% on PSQ. Again, current price 31.24. I think we might see a bounce come in right around 31.22, 31.23. This is small moves here. Don't forget, small stock, 31.24 right now. Maybe go up to 31.30. Get a 6-cent move. Might not be worth it. I want to go up to Kava right now. Kava bounced off of the S2 pivot. Looks like it's just moving sideways, but it's holding. Kava is holding. Coming back from the oversold. McDonald's, MCD. McDonald's. Up 0.66%. Slanting over, though. It looks like we topped out, but we're coming down slowly into VWAP. Look for a possible bounce around 304.50 to 304.80. Current price is 305 right now, right about 305. So next 60, I mean, we're getting close now. It's at 3 o'clock. Might see a bounce at VWAP. If it fails, might look for a bounce at the R1 pivot, which is 304.50 area. But then we might be chopping because then we'd be between the VWAP and the pivot point. So we might be chopping in between there. If I would wait maybe to see if it breaks below VWAP. We did show respect here on VWAP earlier today, just after the open. And then we showed respect at 2 times here on the R1 pivot. I think this is going to drop a little, 305.13. Yeah, I think it's going to drop a little right here. McDonald's up 0.64%, 305.15 down to 305, maybe 309.95. McDonald's. Tesla still rising here now. Hit a new high. Tesla, TSLA, Tesla 443.48. Just hit a new high just now. Reversed 442.29 now. It's about $1.20 off the high. This thing moves very rapidly, very, very fast, very, very crazy. This reminds me of the future contract RB. Go look that up. Future contract RB. That's gasoline. RBOB. That thing is so volatile. This is the most volatile stock I've never seen. It's just absolutely bananas. Look at that. We're now at 441.50. $2 within just a few seconds. Coming off that high on Tesla. It is up 3.71%. Again, there's so many days 8% up, 7% up, 9% up, 8% up. It's just so crazy. This thing is so crazy. Still not touching it. No, sir. No, thank you. It's just unpredictable. It doesn't make a good trade if you can't predict it. If it's just doesn't have predictability on it right now, at least. It was really, really good. I mean, that was my main money maker before, but after this, like this move here, it's just so wild and rapid and volatile. I'm just not touching it. I don't recommend it to anybody right now. If you're gonna buy it and hold it, that's one thing, but buying it, try to day trade it, Absolutely not. You're going to get killed. Coca-Cola. There it is. We were looking for this. Chopping in between the VWAP and the pivot point. That's the money-making zone. Very, very nice. It's reapproaching the pivot point now, 66.47 on Coke, down 0.36%. It's coming back down right now to the VWAP. I'm sorry, off the VWAP. It is approaching the pivot just a few points below the current price of 66.47. Could bounce there, go back up, just continue to chop sideways, or it's going to choose a direction one way or the other. It is down 0.37%, so it is bearish sentiment on the day. Guys, all right, listen, I got to run. I'm late to the room. Listen, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for coming. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, please. Like, share. Appreciate you all. Thank you so very much, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. This is Scotty Tucker Jr. with 10X Charting, wishing you good luck and happy trading, everybody.